no other better. I mean, first guy picked overall, 1976. I banged heads with this guy 14 games when he, with the Tampa Bay Bucs. But Hall of Famer Lee Roy Selmon. How you doing, Lee Roy?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing terrific, and we were just talking briefly before we came on the air with you there. I'm trying to, I'm going back, trying to remember who won most of those games, but it was pretty much a toss-up. We'd play you tough on defense, but our offense kind of sucked.
You guys had Walter Payton. How could you suck if you have Walter Payton?
I remember some guy named Sweetness.
Yeah. The Sweetness, yeah.
And as a defensive player, he really posed his will on myself as well as all of the Tampa Bay team defensive players. So didn't look forward to those games very much at all. So.
Well, you came out of the University of Oklahoma. You won 2 national championships there with a couple of guys that had your same last name. It had to be fun playing with your brothers like that.
Yeah, it really was. It was an awful lot of fun. You look back on it and have greater appreciation for those opportunities to play with my brothers, and so it was just some really, really, really good times for that reason. And so we look back on it. I saw them over the Thanksgiving weekend, and just did a little reminiscing and everything.
Lee Roy, David Spada here. What was it like? You're the first pick in the draft, basically in 1976, and you're going to an expansion team. You had to be shaking your head saying, why me?
No, I was, what was most exciting for me about the draft that year was not the point of being selected where I was, but the point that my brother was also selected by Tampa Bay. And which meant we got to play 6 more years together here in Florida, and I can tell you the good Lord knows exactly what you need, because I certainly needed him here, and so we broke into the league together, and I tell you, I think that's the reason why I was able to hang around for as long as I did, and so we didn't care about that. We're, as rookies, you're just glad to have an opportunity for more than a dream come true for us, which is to play in the National Football League.
I think probably, not to interrupt you there, I think probably the toughest one was, that first season going 0-14 and then eventually 0-26 until you broke the ice against St. Louis.
Yeah, it was some tough treading along the way there, but I realized we were a young team, an expansion program with a lot of young players just like myself, trying to learn how to play in the National Football League. We had no really idea of the level of competition and all that you needed to do to compete and be successful. So that first year and part of that second year was, I think that was what that was all about. And I think John McKay did an outstanding job of positioning us to where even though we were losing games, we could still hold a positive outlook and go out and practice hard and just keep trying to get better.
Now, when you get together over Thanksgiving, is there any argument in the Selmon family who the best football player was?
No, never any argument there. I always say my brother Lucius was the best, and Dewey was second, and I was last.
Is that the order of age?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that started a long time ago, and it's still that way.
Lee Roy, what do you think of these rule changes now? I mean, you got this Harrison guy from Pittsburgh getting fined every week $25,000, $50,000 for these hits, and back in the day, you made similar hits. You'd be out of money right now.
Well, I tell you, it's tough. I understand, the intent of the rules and trying to, make it a little bit more safer for the players and everything, particularly since we know what some of the long-term effects are as we get older. But, the physical nature of the game, I doubt if you're going to really be able to put any real rules in there that's going to change that, because it's moving so fast. And even if a player is trying to avoid a helmet-to-helmet hit, if both players in both intent trying to avoid it, they end up in the same spot anyway. How can you tell, if that was intentional or, hey, we were trying to avoid it, but it just happened. So I think it's tough, but I do like the point that at least they're looking at it, and if there's anything that can be done to maybe reduce that particular risk a little bit, then it's worthwhile, I think, in the long term.
Chuck Bednarik told us last week, I mean, he can't watch the football nowadays. He goes there like a bunch of pansies. And you know, Chuck, he doesn't hold back.
Oh, yeah, you don't hold back anything. Well, the nature of the game in which we grew up in, all that wasn't even considered or talked about or anything, and I think by the nature of the game and what's being found out about it, it should be a part of the conversation, and certainly seeing what we can do to keep the players as healthy as possible. And the head is you're only going to get one of those in one brain, and if you can protect it better, then I think you should.
Now, there's the Lee Roy Selmon Expressway down in Florida. Does that mean you can go as fast as you want, whenever you want? If not, we have a lawyer here in studio who could help you with any tickets you might get.
Hey, I've got one ticket in my life, and guess what it was on?
On your expressway.
No, I'm just teasing.
But Leroy's got the toll booth. He's got the toll booth set up, and he gets to keep all the money.
Well, I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, they make me pay double when I'm on it.
Hey, we're so fortunate to have Hall of Famer Lee Roy Selmon on the air with us here, with myself, Robin Earl, David Spada, and Elliott Harris here on the Barely Legal Show. You've got to have a little twinkle in your eye. These Tampa Bay Bucs are playing pretty decent right now.
Well, I'm so proud of them. Coach Morris is really doing an excellent job. It's only his second year of leading the team, and the players really, I think, have bought in on the philosophy and how he's trying to build it and the things he's trying to do. And they're under the second year, I think they understand that better. And I think the young guys coming in are playing very hard also, and as a result, they've really enjoyed some real good success so far this season. And now it's that part of the season where you make the pushes for the playoffs and those type of things. So I'm hoping they can stay healthy, number one, and then finish their season strong and see what it looks like at the end of 16 games.
They were talking about you on the radio this morning. You were the last defensive lineman to win the Defensive Player of the Year award with less than 13 sacks when you had 11 in 79, because they're saying Julius Peppers will probably end up with less than 11 sacks, and he should be the Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, I think there's many ways to contribute to teams and everything. I know those stats like that is the number of sacks you get, those are some of the highlight types of things. But I think, there's other ways that players can earn that ability, because this league is so competitive and so tough to where if they want to take you out and make you ineffective in a game, they have ways of double teaming you and slowing you down and those type of things. But, to me, when those things happen, then you're drawing that kind of attention, then, players know. Who they have to get after and who they have to stop in order to be successful. And so while that is one part of the statistics on players, I generally like to look at what impact did this player having overall for his team when he's out on the field playing.
We got just about a minute here, Leroy. As a defensive lineman, and you've obviously seen the decline of our great nose guard, Tommy Harris, and of course came from the University of Oklahoma. A lot of people are saying that this is his last year. When you watch him, I don't know if you had a chance to watch him lately, but what's your observation with Tommy Harris?
Well, to be real honest, I can't probably make an honest opinion about that, because I have not this season had a chance to watch him very much, but I do remember him coming and watching him when he came into the league and everything. And he's a great guy, and obviously has a lot of ability and everything. And it's hard for me from a distance to pinpoint what may be going on. I'm sure Tommy is the type of player that wants to get out and have an impact and play hard and help his team succeed and make a difference. So, so with that, I really can't speak too much to what's happening with Tommy.
You're busy with University of South Florida with Skip Holtz.
Yeah, I am. He's had a good first year here and everything. And
hey, Leroy, I'm going to have to cut you short here.